Good morning. Whoa, I've got a light here that I didn't realize I had. Good morning, everyone. I am Sarah Simon. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from a very snowy, yes, snowy Appleton, Wisconsin. Oh goodness, I think I might have two microphones going here. Good morning. Thought I had one. I've got a light here that I Can someone didn't let me realize know I if the sound sounds okay?
Good morning,
I didn't think
everyone.
I had any microphones.
I am
Now
Sarah
I think
Simon. I am an
two
independent
different
Stampin'
ones
Up!
going
Demonstrator
here.
coming to you
Let
from
me,
a very snowy,
mute this
yes,
one and see it.
snowy Appleton, Wisconsin. Oh goodness, I think I might have two microphones going here. Good morning.
Thought I had
Whoa,
one. I've got a light here that
Can
I
someone
didn't
let me
realize
know
I
if the sound sounds okay? Good morning,
I didn't think I
everyone.
had any microphones.
I am
Now
Sarah
I think
Simon.
have
I am an
two
independent
different
Stampin'
ones
Up!
going
Demonstrator
here.
coming to you
Let me,
from a very snowy,
mute this
yes,
one and see it.
snowy Appleton, Wisconsin. Oh goodness, I think I might have two microphones going here. Good morning.
Thought I had
Whoa,
one. I've got a light here that
Can
I
someone
didn't
let me
realize
know
I
if the sound sounds okay? Good morning,
I didn't think I had
everyone.
any
I
microphones.
am
Now
Sarah
I think I
Simon.
have
I am an
two
independent
different
Stampin'
ones
Up!
going
Demonstrator
here.
coming to you
Let
from
me,
a very snowy,
mute this
yes,
one and see it.
snowy Appleton, Wisconsin. Oh goodness, I think I might have two microphones going here. Good morning.
Thought I had
Whoa,
one. I've got a light here that
Can
I
someone
didn't
let me
realize
know
I
if the sound sounds okay? Good morning,
I didn't think I
everyone.
had any
I
microphones.
am
Now
Sarah
I think I
Simon.
have
I am an
two
independent
different ones
Stampin' Up!
going
Demonstrator
here.
coming to you
Let
from
me,
a very snowy,
mute this
yes,
one and see it.
snowy Appleton, Wisconsin. Oh goodness, I think I might have two microphones going here. Good morning.
Thought I had
Whoa,
one. I've got a light here that
Can
I
someone
didn't
let me
realize
know
I
if the sound sounds okay? Good morning,
I didn't think I
everyone.
had any
I
microphones.
am
Now I
Sarah
think I
Simon.
have
I am an
two
independent
different
Stampin'
ones
Up!
going
Demonstrator
here.
coming to you
Let
from
me,
a very snowy,
mute this
yes,
one and see it.
snowy Appleton, Wisconsin. Oh goodness, I think I might have two microphones going here. Good morning.
Thought I had
Whoa,
one. I've got a light here that
Can
I
someone
didn't
let me
realize
know
I
if the sound sounds okay? Good morning,
I didn't think I
everyone.
had any
I
microphones.
am
Now I
Sarah
think I
Simon.
have
I am an
two
independent
different
Stampin'
ones
Up!
going here.
Demonstrator coming to you
Let
from
me,
a very snowy,
mute this
yes,
one and see it.
snowy Appleton, Wisconsin. Oh goodness, I think I might have two microphones going here. Good morning.
Thought I had
Whoa,
one. I've got a light here that
Can
I
someone
didn't
let me
realize
know
I
if the sound sounds okay? Good morning,
I didn't think I
everyone.
had any
I
microphones.
am
Now I
Sarah
think I
Simon.
have
I am an
two
independent
different
Stampin'
ones
Up!
going here.
Demonstrator coming.
Okay, is that better? I think that might be better. I muted something else and now I put my microphone on. Is that better? Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on. Okay, good. It's better. Awesome. I don't know what is going on sometimes with these things. Everything keeps changing. I just did an update. It looks different. And so I'm like, okay, I got to figure something out. So what I was saying, I'm supposed to be going to Green Bay to visit my aunt today. I got her an Echo Dot so that I have like some playlist with the rosary, and she's a nun, and some religious songs. And I'd gotten one for my uncle who's a priest, and he absolutely loves it. And so I ended up getting one for her, but I have to go there and set it up for her. And so I was going to drive there today, but now, for those of you that aren't from Wisconsin, it's like snowy and windy and gross here. And my dog Lila loves the snow, but this morning she went out to go to the bathroom, and she went to the bathroom and came right back in. She doesn't even like the snow anymore when it gets to be the end of March. So yeah, this weather is so crazy. Kelly, you are right. So anyhow, now that we got the sound figured out, good thing I don't panic too bad. I know that I can figure it out somehow. Wanted to share some happy mail. Look at this beautiful card with the hummingbirds that I got in the mail. This was a thank you from Kathy. I don't know if it's Kessler or Kiesler, Kathy, but oh, just absolutely beautiful card. I love this background. I love those hummingbirds. They're so pretty. So thank you for the thank you card. And then we have some prizes to give away before we start. Okay, only hear one voice in my head now. Okay, good. That's good. All right. That's funny, Linda. I have some prizes to give away. And so for commenting, so anytime you comment, whether it be in YouTube or on Facebook, you get entered into a drawing. And so for commenting, you receive the cards that I made last week. So last week we made this Easter card that says He's risen. So it's the reason for the season, kind of, or the reason for the holiday. And then we made this belated birthday, and this one featured a lot of the online exclusive. This paper is an online exclusive. This die is an online exclusive. This ribbon is an online exclusive. So yeah, that was fun. And then my favorite, we made this pop-up rhino card that just pops up when you open it up. And this is also an online exclusive, as are the dies. So we were featuring those last week. So receiving those for commenting last week is, where did my post-it go? Oh, Diane Herbson. Diane, I will get these off in the mail to you. And then for sharing. So anytime you click share and you share this to your Facebook page, oh, it's not snowing in Manawa. Interesting. You also get entered into a drawing to win items. And I have a brand new Wink of Stella going to Linda Goff Palmer. And Linda, I do not have your address. It looks like you are from California. So I will just need to get that. Now, if you do share, please put share in the comments, because some of you, with how you have your settings set up on Facebook, I don't see who shared. It says 13 people shared, and it shows me the names of 2 people. So, well, Michelle Jones, welcome. I'm glad you are with us this morning. All right. And then for placing an order. So anytime you place an order, and I do have my host code listed right here for you to use, you also get put into a drawing. Now that host code, I think I have to close that one by the middle of this week. So that's probably going to be closing. If you wanted to place an order, send me an email or send me a private message and I can get you the new host code if it is closed. So for placing an order last week and receiving the stamp kit set Silly Goose, which I love this stamp set. We used the little one with the fist bump here, and it was called Goosebumps, I think. Anyhow, receiving this for placing an order is Barbara Schupenes. I don't know if I pronounced that correct, but Barbara, this will be coming your way. So thank you so much. All right, so this is a big week for us demonstrators. So if you are on my team, this week we get a chance to see the new catalog online. Oh, so exciting. Also, weather kept you home this morning. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be going to Green Bay. I'm a wimp. I figure why take the chance, right? Anyhow, we get a chance to see the new catalog. We will find out the different things that are going to be retiring. And then that retirement list is coming out. I think it's at the end of this week, possibly as well. And then if they're going to be putting anything on sale, they will list it and they'll let know when that sale will start. And then they will also, those in colors, remember those are going away. So, oh, my camera just disconnected. I don't know why it does that either. I'm just not having a good technology day this morning. So I'm going to fix that before we actually even go live, because I'm going to have to go over to the camera and then hook it up. So anyhow, squirrel, all of a sudden I saw my camera knock out on my phone. So I'm going to have to reconnect that. We will also be able to get to start to order just a select amount of items on the 4th of April. So if you want to join my team and order a little bit early, you can do that. But know that new catalog should be coming to you. If you're one of my customers and have ordered from me, it should be coming to you sometime around the middle of April, because it starts in May. And also, what was I going to say? If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, or you would like to get your hands on that catalog, send me a private message and I'd be happy to get you a catalog as well when they come out. Okay, good. I'm fine on YouTube. Yeah, I know my camera's fine, but wait till I switch to my phone, it's not there. So I'm going to switch to my phone and then I have to reconnect it because it got disconnected, and then we will start stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and switch. No, it's going to be black until I'm able to connect it again. So I'm going to switch, and then we're going to come up here and I'm going to have to reconnect. So I apologize. And of course, I'm probably going to have to take my phone out to do that. And let's see if that works. It may have been wanting to. The stream stopped. Okay. Technology is not my friend this morning. There we go. Allow. And there, we're back. All right. And I think I can just pop this back in here, and I'll try to get this. I apologize for this. If you are a person that gets dizzy easily from things that are moving, there we go. I think I'm back. Hopefully I stay back. I'll make sure I'm not echoing. Okay, looks like that's turned off. All right. Whew. There we go. Okay, that was my stress for the day. All right. We are going to be starting with our stamp, ink, and paper card, which today, that is, I'm cheating a little bit and I'm using some punches. I just want to let you know that ahead of time. So stamp, ink, paper, and 2 punches. I just had to. This is going to be our, this is kind of our fun fold. I've got 2 fun folds today. This is one of them. I like to do when I'm doing stamp, ink, and paper, doing maybe a little bit different fold. So I've got some balmy blue here. And that is not 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. So I know what that's for though. This is 4 1/4 by 9 1/2. And I scored this at 5 1/2, 6 1/2, 8, and 9. Okay, so 5 1/2, 6 1/2, 8, and 9. If it was sitting, it looks like I did it this way. All right. Then I have another piece of balmy blue that measures 3 by 5, and I scored this at 1/2 inch and 1 1/2 inches. Okay, so those are my 2 pieces for the base of my card. I have basic white, that's 4 by 5 1/4. This will be not really our inside, it's going to be the back of our card. I'm using some of our 2-tone floral. Oh, and I got some ink on my hand. Let me just see if I can get this off so I don't transfer it to something else. This happened one other time and I didn't even pull that pen out, so I don't know what happened. All right, better. 4 by 5 1/4, this is the 2-tone floral that we're going to be using, and then I have another piece of that measures 1 1/4 by 4. Okay, so those are 2 pieces of the same. Then I flipped it over, and I looked and I said, oh, these 2 go really nicely together. So this one measures 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so it's just the back. You could also choose a different one if you wanted to. All right, then we have, this is some of that glimmer. This is fresh freesia. It comes with gold, fresh freesia, and I think the other color is mint macaron or soft succulent. It has a little bit of a glimmer to it. I don't know how well you can see that with the lighting. This is for my envelope, and this is a little scrap. All right, so I'm going to start by putting together the card, and then we'll do our stamping kind of at the end of it and decorate it. So we'll do the fun fold part of it first. So I'm going to take a bone folder, and I am going to crease all of these or burnish all of these score lines on the porch in Florida. Can you hear the waves? No, Mom, I can't. I can see the snow and I can see it blowing. That's what I can see, Mom. Rub it in, right? All right, so there's our first piece. And then our second piece, we're also going to fold. And I'm folding these all in. They're all going in the same direction. Okay, what we're going to do, do you remember the card that I made, I don't know how long ago, where it had a little thing like this and this came like this and it stood up. We're going to make it horizontal today. We're going to change things up just a little bit and do it horizontally. So I am going to go ahead and add this DSP to the inside part of this card. I wish I was back in Florida. Anyone else want to go to Florida with me? We could be there by, if we drove straight through, we could be there by tomorrow night. Or late tomorrow afternoon. Okay, once we have that, then I'm also going to put that other strip right here. And I'm going to do this before I actually put it together so that I can remember which one has to fold up and that I have a nice solid base for pressing this down. You're still going to have a pretty solid base for it. So, okay. Now, this is going to pop up like this, but it has to go in my envelope, okay? I have to be able to fit it in an envelope. So it's actually going to fold down like this when it's in the envelope. So if we look, it's folded at that 5.5 is down, and this piece right here at the end of where our designer series paper is folded, that is down. So if I fold my paper like this, and I just put some adhesive here, it's going to be exactly in the spot that it is supposed to be in. Okay, so I'm just adding some glue here. You could use, if you are a person that when you do fun folds like this, you like to use tear and tape, you could use tear and tape. Just have to make sure that you have it for sure in the right spot, because once it's down, it's down. But this one's really easy, because if you fold it at the 5.5, and you fold it right here, which is where it has to be folded to go in so it fits into my envelope, then when I pop it up, it's going to be exactly where it needs to be. Pretty cool, right? All right, then we have this one, and I'm going to put the other designer series paper on that one. And again, I'm going to do it while it's flat. And now for this one, we need to put adhesive right here on this little 1/2-inch tab. We also have to put it on the back here, because this is going to attach like this. So I can fold this down like that to go in my card, but then it's going to pop up. So again, I want this to be folded where it needs to be in the card, in the envelope. And then I'm going to put some adhesive on that tab and right along the bottom. And then I want to line this up so that the top and the bottom, there's about an equal amount of DSP here and here, and then on the top and bottom as well. I want to get this straight. And I can't put my head right over the top of it to get it straight. And I'm going to make sure that I give this a good press, because that liquid glue does have to dry a little bit before, okay. So there is our little pop-up. So this is going to stand up for the person that I give it to. Isn't that cool? All right, so I've made them like this before. I've never made one on the side. So I thought I'm going to do this a little bit different today. All right, on this scrap of white and on our piece of white that's going to go on the back with our greeting, I thought I would make this a birthday card. And so we're going to be using some Orchid Oasis, because that's one of the colors that are in there. And it was probably the darkest of the colors in this pattern. So I'm going to be using the stamp that says, "For a special person on your special day." Now I'm saying birthday, but you could really, if you wanted to, you could really make this like a bridal shower card. It doesn't have to be birthday. And I don't even think I have a birthday on the inside either. I think I just used one about how special the person was. I'm just using, this is also in our online exclusive. You can get a 1 3/4 inch circle punch. So if you don't have one of these, I love this. Oh, there's no snow in Chicago either. Well, rub that in, Becky. Thank you very much for telling me that. We do have snow in Appleton, and a lot of it, especially for the end of March. Okay, I am using this is Label Me Lovely punch, which I love this punch because look at how nicely a circle fits in there. Now, we have our circle die, so you could cut a circle if you wanted to, but isn't it so much easier just to grab a punch and do that with a punch? I think so. I am a punch girl when I can use one. All right, the greeting that I'm going to use for the back where I'm going to sign, just a little reminder that you are loved. Okay, so again, this could be a birthday card. You could put happy birthday. You could put a congratulations here. Excuse me. I'm going to take a drink of water here quick. My throat was getting a little dry. For a special person on a special day, it could be really anything. All right. We're going to add a little bit of something to these before we attach it. I'm going to bring in a scrap here. I'm going to put my Orchid Oasis away. I'm going to bring out some fresh freesia and some balmy blue. Those are some of the other colors that are in this DSP. And from the framed floral, I think it's called, I am going to use some of the little stamps that are on there. So I'm going to use this floral stamp and just add a little bit of floral up in the corner there. And then I'm going to take the bigger one and I'm going to use some fresh freesia. And I'm just going to add a little bit of that down in the corner there. Just to add a little bit of something. They're lighter colors so they don't cover up my greeting at all. And that is, I'm actually going to do that I think on here too. So let's add a big one down here. And let's add the littler one up there. Okay, easy, simple, just a little bit of stamping. We've got our fold that does all the excitement on this card. I am going to bring in some ribbon. Now this is Pool Party, but because it is a sheer ribbon, you can't really tell that it's just Pool Party. It could be just about anything, so any sort of blue. So it does kind of match with this, so I'm going to go ahead and add this to the back. So that I have a place to sign it and write a little message if I would like. I'm going to make sure I get this even here. There we go. Okay, and our circle. Am I losing it? Where did our circle go with our greeting? Is it underneath? It's underneath there. Okay. All right. So that is going to go on here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to that. Okay, so that, I don't know if you can see that shimmer, but that shimmer is kind of cool. All right, now I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal and I'm going to attach a bunch of it along the back of here, and I'm going to cut some ribbon. Now, this is not my favorite way to put on ribbon. I'm not gonna lie. I am not really good at this. Kathy Miller, I don't know if she's on here, but she is the pro at doing this. Hers always looks really, really good. Mine, well, it kind of depends on the day. So I'm just going to run this across here. I'm going to loop it. And then I'm going to bring it back down and I'm going to loop it again. And then I'm going to bring it up. And I'm going to press that into the back. Okay, and then I'm going to trim that off. Not too bad. This loop's a little bit big. And then we're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. Hi, Aunt Mary. No sunshine today. Yeah, I know. Winter Wonderland. Let's inspire and make some flowers on our card and escape to this snow. Escape from this snow, I should say. Thinking of when flowers will be blooming. You know, all those places like Florida where it's really, really nice right now, it'll be unbearably hot this summer, and we will have the comfort of a Wisconsin summer with beautiful temps, hopefully. All right, I'm just putting this on dimensionals, and I'm centering it on the front there. Okay, so that this is fun here, and then you turn it over, and you've got your message. And I brought in, let's see, I have a couple of different things. Now these milky dots you can't get anymore. I still have a few left. And there were some that look like they're fresh freesia on there. But then these look like they were balmy blue. So I think I'll use what you can still get. So we used these last week and I still had them out on my table. So I think I'm just going to use a couple of these and we'll throw one in the center of that flower there. And we'll put one down here. And I think that's all we really need. All right, so there is our first card. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna keep all these together so that when I go to type this up, I can't believe that I typed that one up and forgot to share it with you, but I did share last night. And now that I probably won't be going to Green Bay, I will be going ahead and hopefully have some time to get this today. I had a friend whose husband died suddenly, very young, I think he was just around 60 years old. So I went to the wake on Thursday night, and it was about an hour and 15-minute drive from here. So yeah, there was a lot going on this week. I had a meeting for that women's retreat, and it was just something almost every night. So, all right, look at that. I wanted to bring that color in, and there we have our first card. Stamp, ink, and paper. I didn't use a die cutting machine for anything on here. I let the paper do the work, the fun fold do the work. I did cheat and use a couple of punches. But you could just put a square here if you wanted to. You wouldn't have to do a circle and that fancy punch. You could just do it plain if you wanted to. Okay, here is another one with a different pattern. So this one has more of the fresh freesia and the orchid oasis. This has some navy, night of navy, has some more pink in it, petal pink I think that is. So that's another one. And again, I did the greeting on the back. All right, so there is our card number 1. Thank you for those of you that gave me hearts. I appreciate that. I don't always catch that, and I don't make comments of it because I'm too busy stamping here, but out of the corner of my eye, I can see it sometimes. All right, second card is not a fun fold, but it's an easy layout to make some quick cards when you want to feature some designer series paper. I'm going to just try to clean up here a little bit. There we go. I think because I took my phone out before, I don't have it exactly where I had it because I'm seeing some of my desk here instead of my mat that I have in front of me. I know this isn't wood. This is actually a mat, and it's like a cushiony mat. It's kind of nice. I love it. All right, so next we are going to use this Nested Friends. Whoops, my circle there is making a little bit of a glare. But I love thinking of you cards. I love this little nest and this bird. And these have dies that go with it that will either cut out the nest, or you can make a nest with just some paper. You can layer this on top of it, and then it's got like these little green leaves that you can add to it. Now, I did this one for one of my card buffets. We did the nest and we did the leaves, and it is a little bit time consuming. I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit putsy. What we're going to be doing today is a little bit quicker. It involves a little bit of coloring, but not too bad. All right. Huh. I have everything in here except for the card with the cardstock. I'm wondering if it's on my desk here. Oh gosh. I might be cutting the whole thing for you. I have it cut somewhere, and it was in an envelope, and the envelope even had some envelope paper in it, or paper for the envelope. Let me see what I did with it. You know what? This is the one I did the other night, so I don't understand why it's not sitting out here somewhere. Okay, we are going to have to, it looks like, I'm going to have to cut all of the paper for you for this one. So let me just grab what I need. Won't take me too long. If I have any of that paper left. Oh my goodness, ladies, I have none of that designer series paper left. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the other one, and I'm going to think about it while I'm doing the next one. I'll figure out where it is, hopefully, and we'll come back to this one. How about that? I don't know if maybe it's in this. Nope, it didn't get put in the wrong bin. So I will look for it, and we will either come back to it, or that'll be one of them that I do next week. Sorry about that. It's got to be here somewhere. It's just an envelope with all the stuff. All right. This is going to be our gift card holder. This I all have here, so we can move on to this one, and we'll come back if we have to. All right, so this is some Calypso coral, and this measures 5 inches by 7 3/4, and I scored it at 2 1/4, and I scored it at 6. Okay, so this is 2 1/4, and this is 6. So one side is 2 1/4, the other side is just 1 3/4. All right. I know I need a secretary, Becky. Or I need, it should be sitting like right out, but I have so much stuff out because from cutting for my stamp club this weekend and all of that kind of stuff. I have lots of scraps, and I have lots of things out right now. All right. 4 by 5 1/4 is this layer of basic white, and then 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is pale papaya. This is one of them that's retiring. So I was trying to use a couple of colors that are going to be retiring. All right, this is 2 inches by 4 3/4, and this is some of that desert. Is it desert detail? Yeah, so we're going to think desert while we're looking at the snow. I'm looking at snow. Where you are, you're probably not, but I am. Okay. Green Bay, Appleton, Oshkosh, 9 inches. Seymour, 1 inch. That's what the news just said. Oh, that is crazy. 1 1/2 by 4 3/4. This is also from that paper. And then I have the stamp set here so you can see it. Desert Detail is the name of it. There's these 2 flowers. These are kind of like, I don't know, Aztec-y kind of looking strips. And then some greetings. And then there are dies. And I don't even have these on a... there's this one, and then the one that I used, you needed 4 by 3, and it cut out the inside part of that. And it leaves like this little border around it, which is, I don't know how well you can see that, but there's like a little stitching around it. That's also in Calypso Coral. We also have the dies to cut out our flowers. I think I have the dies that I need right here. Okay. This is 3 3/8 by 2 1/8. And that is the size that you would need if you wanted to put some paper right inside of there and line that up. And that's what we're going to do with that. And then this is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And this is basic white. I have a strip of pale papaya. And what we're going to do with this, I have my my tiny Stamp Emboss and Cut machine. This is like a little edge that it's going to cut, and we're going to cut that out of here for a little piece that we're going to put on our card as well. This was the die that I used for the Calypso Coral piece. I actually ran that one through already. Oh my gosh, cars are going by and they're just covered in snow. I am not going to Green Bay, Mom, okay? So you don't have to worry. I don't know if you said anything in here, but I'm not going to drive to Green Bay in this snow. All right, and then I have the die. We're going to stamp a flower, and we're going to, I have the die here to cut that out as well. All right, let's go ahead and do our stamping, and then we will put this whole thing together. So I need this layer. And we need this, and I need this layer right here, all of the whites. This one I don't, that's just a border layer. Okay, I am going to use the stamp that says, "You are what sunshine feels like." So when I was doing my cards, I really wanted to do something that I needed because I have some cards coming up that I need to have. And my niece, Emery, who lives out in California, she has a birthday coming up in the beginning of April. And so I want to send her a gift card because she's living out in California and everybody knows how expensive that is. She's pursuing her dream of being an actress. And so I wanted to send her a gift card because I know that that's probably more important to her than anything else that I would have sent. You know, she could probably get groceries or any of that kind of stuff with it. So I wanted to do a gift card holder with the card, so that's what this is. So I'm using this, "You Are What Sunshine Feels Like," because she really is. She's just a sweet, sweet girl. So I'm just going to stamp that right along there. And then I'm going to take the scrap that I had. I just have to see which one's my scrap. This one's not my scrap. This one's my scrap. All right, in here I'm going to stamp "Happy Birthday." And I want this to be up towards the top because there's going to be the little gift card holder below this. This is going to be for the inside. That looks good. And then on here, I wanted to add a little flower as well. And so there's this tiny flower. Now, I wanted to get both of my colors. I wanted Pale Papaya and I wanted Calypso Coral in my flower. And so what I did was I took the lighter of the two colors, which is the Pale Papaya, and I inked up my flower. Then I took a sponge dauber and I dabbed a little bit of the Calypso Coral onto my sponge dauber, and I just kind of patted around a little bit to add a little bit of that ink. I huffed it a little bit and then put that on there. So I have all of the colors. You can see some of the Pale Papaya. I probably put a little more Calypso Coral than I did on my sample, but that is what that looks like when you add both of those. Okay, we're going to do that exact same thing on our scrap with our big flower. So here's our big flower, and I'm going to ink that up good with the Pale Papaya. And then I'm going to take the Calypso Coral, and I want probably more in the middle. And then I just want like here and there, just dabbing it a little bit to give it a little bit of that color. And then I'm letting the ink soak into the paper. And that's what I get. Okay, I did cut one of those out. Oh, there it is. All right. And we do have to, though, bring in our little machine. I have everything that I cut, so I don't have to cut that one. But we do have to cut this little thing. So I'm going to bring in our machine, the little one. Set that down. Now for cutting, I need to have the white plate and the two clear ones. The other two plates that come with it you do not need for cutting. And I'm going to set this in here. Actually, I think I'm going to line this up first at the edge and then set it down. And I think I've mentioned this before. You don't want these to be completely lined up, or otherwise it's hard to get started. You want to have them a little bit spaced out. There we go. I just love this because I can throw it on my desk and cut something really quickly. It actually sits on my desk. I just have to open it up. And that's what that looks like. Oh, it looks like I moved it a little bit, but that's okay. I think it's going to work. I'm just going to trim off this end right here. I didn't have it straight. That's what happens when you can't look at something straight on, because my camera's overhead and I was sitting down. That doesn't work very well. But that works. All right, we are ready to put this whole thing together. All right, so first what we're going to do is we're going to take the top part of our gift card holder is going to be this, and this is going to be the bottom, and they're going to come together. We're going to tape this down eventually. I am going to use my bone folder to give that a good burnish. And the bigger designer paper is going to go on the top. I feel like I'm flustered today, and I think it's because I'm not sure where. I know I cut that paper. I did it the other night. That was one of them. That was the first one that I did, and I know I cut the paper. Why it's not in my thing with the rest of the stuff, I'm not quite sure. But I think I'm going to look in my kitchen, because I was working at my kitchen table while I was doing some of this, and I don't know if I left it sitting in there. My glue is getting low. Isn't that fun? I just love that. Okay, so that's going to be our front. Right? Then our happy birthday is going to go right inside of here. I haven't been watching comments. Good morning, Anna. Sorry I missed it when you jumped on. Oh, Betty, it's snowing now. So it just took a little while to get to you. Yeah, welcome to... I can't even see outside right now because there's so much snow on my windows that it's kind of blocking the view, and it's blowing pretty bad. All right, so I'm going to just put glue along the edge. And again, if you wanted to, you could put tear and tape. If you use liquid glue like I'm using liquid glue, you just want to make sure that you give that a good press and you let it sit for a while before you actually put the gift card in. So we're going to put the front part of our card together while I let this just kind of sit and dry. All right. So this little strip that we cut is going to go along the bottom here. All right. So I'm just going to add a little strip of glue to that, and I think I'm going to bring my scrap paper in here, and I'm just going to line that up. I don't want the white showing through where those little edges are. Okay, and then going to trim that off. Isn't that cute how it just adds a little bit of a layer to the bottom? And then we're going to layer that right on here. I just thought that just bringing that little bit of the pale papaya to the front of it was kind of fun to do with that little strip. And then that is going to go on the front here, and we're going to attach that with some dimensionals just on the top part. So I'm going to go ahead and add the dimensionals along the top. And then those of you that watch me quite often know that I then put the other dimensionals on the card so that I know how low to put them, so that I don't go too low and then can't open the card. And I like to do the dimensionals right there so that it gives it a good, it stays nicely there, I guess. Okay, and then that beautiful flower is just going to be popped up on dimensionals here. I just loved this flower from this set. I had so many different card packs that were getting put together because I have my stamp club, like I said, Sunday, and my virtual one is Monday and then Tuesday this week because we have Stations of the Cross on Wednesday. And so when that happens, I sometimes, because I don't want all the mess in here, I will like cut everything in here and I'll bring it into my kitchen table where I can spread it out a little bit more. And so I'm wondering if in taking some of that stuff out there, I have the other card in there. So I'm going to go check and I'll give one more look here. But if I don't find it, I don't want you guys to be kept longer. I will just do that as my card next week. But you'll only get 2 this week then. All right, these are some of our champagne rhinestones. Gorgeous, just love them. And here's my take your pick tool. We are going to put a couple of these on here just to add a little bit of bling. And they come in 3 different sizes. And so I'm going to take a small one. And I think I'm going to do a medium one, kind of in this corner. And then I'll do the large one up there, just to add a little bit of bling to that. Okay, so this is just the gift card holder part. So now our gift card, let me take it out of the one that I had made. Our gift card is just going to slide right in there. Okay, I'm not going to do Kohl's for her. I think I'm going to do Trader Joe's, but because that's where I think she does most of her grocery shopping and stuff. Then this is going to be attached to the basic white. Looks like I need to replace the blade in my trimmer. That's what happens when you cut for a card buffet and for a club back to back. It's time to replace that blade. Okay, and then after I layer that on there, it's going to go on the pale papaya layer, which is going to be the size of my card. That was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So now, since I'm sending a card to California, I know I'm going to have to put a little bit of extra postage on this, but the gift card, there's a spot for it right in there. Now, if I wanted to, I could add some more paper on the back of it. I tend to not sign my cards and just add a Post-it note anyway, so that if somebody wants to reuse the card, they can. So I will likely just add a little piece of paper on the inside here with a little note to her, so that if she wanted to, she could go ahead and reuse this for somebody else and give a gift to somebody else. All right, and then we've got our envelope that we're going to do. Have a glue dot or something on there. Oh, thank you. Those of you that are saying you like the gift card holder. Yeah, this desert detail, I'm not going to lie, I think I made one other card with it. I made a thank you card with it. Oh, and I think I had a card in my card buffet one month with it. It was a card that Kathy Miller had actually designed. She had this set for a swap that we were in, and she made some beautiful cards with it. She does such nice work. I love her cards all the time. I know some of you are her customers. You're lucky. She's really, really good. All right, so there's our envelope. That goes with that. And here was the other one that I made. Okay, it looks exactly the same. I didn't do anything different on it. I am going to run to my kitchen and I'm going to see if the envelope got mixed in with my Stamp Club ones. And if it's there, we will make it. And if it's not, we may have to wait until next week. So give me a second. Okay, I'm back, ladies. I do not see it mixed in with any of the cards. I know that I cut it. It's not that I made it and I forgot to cut it. I know that I cut it. I remember doing it. So that's going to be my card. Let me come back to you here. Woo. Sweating. That will be one of my cards next week. I apologize for that I only have two. I can show you what the card is. And you can get excited next week. It's this little bird. And yeah, I know that I cut it. And I would cut all the paper right now. Should we do it in just a different color? I could maybe do it in a different color. Let's see. Do you want me to just cut everything and do it in a different color? I know what the dimensions are off the top of my head for this one because it's an easy layout. I could just do it in your color choice. Oh, love your color choice. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so this one is the Tahitian Tide, but we could pick a different color and do it in a different color. Heading to Appleton today, see cats at the... Oh, Michelle, drive carefully because the roads here look awful. There's a ton of snow, so I hope you're careful driving. All right, do you want me to... Different color is good. Okay, Marcia's saying different color is good. I finally got a comment, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick a different color. And, oh, I see I pulled all of my designer paper in the in colors out to see if I had another one of the blues. Well, you know what? I have a blue, but instead of the polka dot, I have it in this floral and then stripe. Or we could do any one of the other colors. I do have the Orchid Oasis. Should we do Orchid Oasis? I don't know that I want to color my blue purple, but we could still maybe color the bird. Let's do this. Let's do this floral background instead of the polka dots. And then I might have enough of this pattern left. I just don't have enough of that. Okay, so let's go ahead. I will flip again, and we will go ahead and cut this. I'm going to find this, and I'm going to have to tell you where I found it because I know I cut it. And I also know that I wrote all of the dimensions on it. All right, I'm getting the paper. Here is our Tahitian Tide, and I have to get a piece of basic white. And I had stamped and cut out the nest already too. So we will have to do that as well. Here's my paper trimmer. All right, so with this, I need 2 pieces of basic white. One of them is for 5 1/4. The other one is 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to cut this to 5 and 3 3/4. Okay, we're going to use this. This is going to be 4 7/8 by 3 1/8. That's going to be the little floral pattern. And then I think I'll bring in, if I have enough, let's see if I got a piece that's tall enough. This one will be. So this is just 3/4 of an inch by 4 7/8. I think that'll look okay together if we do the floral and that striped next to each other, rather than doing the polka dotted and that kind of gingham-y look. All right, I will do a piece. Let's see if this is 4 inches. Yeah. We'll cut off a little 1/2 inch for the inside. This one doesn't have a lot that we have to cut, so we're lucky that way. All right, I had a piece of Tahitian tie, or not Tahitian tie. This is, not Orchid Oasis. This is, oh my gosh, I'm thinking Tahitian. It is Tahitian tie. What did the other one used to be called that was like this color? I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what? I just cut that wrong. To stop talking and just work. This is called Tahitian tie. The other one used to be called, what was it? Does anyone remember what the blue like this used to be called? I can't even remember anymore. There we go. All right, I'm going to get all of this paper. I'm going to put this back in its container. I'll do that after we're done, but I'll put it on, get it out of our way right now. Okay, and we are getting ready for putting this together. That wasn't too bad. All right, we will go ahead and burnish this. And I don't know where my bone folder went. It's probably buried here. Here it is. Tempting turquoise, thank you. That's what the old one used to be called. That looks like this. All right, our smaller white is going to be on the front. And what I did was I put down this layer first, and I tried to make sure that all of the sides had this around the same distance, or the border was similar around all of them. So that's going to go down there first. And then what I did, because this is a little bit longer, than it needs to be, it's going to overlap that just a little bit. I didn't want to leave any white space, so I ended up cutting them. Now, normally it was the same pattern, so I just cut the 3 1/8 inch off, and then I cut the 3/4 inch off so that they were for sure the same height. I'm using 2 different pieces of paper, so hopefully I have it close enough that you're not going to be able to see the difference. I probably could have used this lined pattern as well. I just really love this. That's my favorite of all the patterns, is that little gingham, or that little plaid-ish looking thing. Okay, then what we want to do is we want to hide this seam. Okay, I don't want to see where these two are meeting. And so the way that I went about hiding that is, I have to bring my stuff up here, is to use some of our Baker's Twine. This is our Baker's Twine Essential Pack. So you do get black and white and berry vanilla, and I think it's smoky slate maybe, or gray granite. It's a grayish color. And then you get something that looks like a crumb cake in there. That's like a light tan color. So you do get, I think it's 5 different colors in the pack. I probably use the white more than the others. I probably have more of those other ones left. All right, so I'm going to tie this. When I'm working with baker's twine, I feel like I can tie it in a knot, and then after I have the knot, I can tie the bow. When I'm dealing with other ribbon, I don't like to tie it in a knot. It gets too bulky. But with the linen thread and with the baker's twine, I always feel like it's easier to tie a knot first and then tie the bow once you have the knot tied. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and pull these ends until I get it to the size loops that I want. And then what I like to do is take a little glue dot, and right behind where that knot is, I like to roll up a little glue dot. I'll take your pick tool, and I'm just taking and I'm rolling this into a tiny little ball, and I'm sticking it behind the knot so that then I can kind of maneuver, there we go, the little loops so that they're how I want them, and then trim off that. Okay, so that's our little background, and that's really what the layout for this one is the background. Using 2 designer series paper, matching them up, giving a little bit of a white border, and then I popped this up on some dimensionals on the front of the card. I made a card several years ago where we used this layout, and I came across it the other day. It was Spring is Here or something. Yeah, right. It was a little lamb, and it had a circle with the lamb on the front of it. I think it was one of my, I don't think I did it for a Facebook Live, but I think I did it for my stamp club or my stamp card buffet. I'm not sure which one, but I happened to find it because I used to sell my cards at my girlfriend's gift store in Appleton, and it's closed now. But I had a whole bunch of those left because when she ended up deciding to close shop, it had just been Easter not that long ago, and there were a bunch of those that hadn't gone, and so, or it had been spring or whatever. So I don't know. I just know that I had several of them, and I came across it, and I'm like, oh, that's a different layout, and so I decided I was going to use it. All right, and then this I left blank on the inside because my greeting is always thinking of you. Oh, that means I'm going to have to get some So Saffron, because that's the color that I use for my greeting, but we'll get that in just a little bit. All right, let me grab a scrap of white, and I need a pretty big one. So I'm probably just going to do one of these layers. We need to stamp our nest. So here's our nest. And I usually flip it over because when it's a bigger stamp like this, I want to make sure that it's getting inked really well. And I also hold it down a little bit longer because I want to let that ink soak into the paper. Okay, so there's our nest. And then we have a bird as well. And while we have, I'm going to get some So Saffron. I have some scraps here. I'm going to cut a piece that's just 5/8 of an inch wide. I'm doing that off camera, but I'll bring it in. Here it is. And it's okay that it's supposed to be like 3 1/8 inch, I think it is, long, but I'm just going to stamp and then I'll cut off as needed. I'm going to stand up so I can get this, hopefully. Okay, that looks good. All right, we are ready to do some coloring. And the colors that I have are a crumb cake and soft suede. So I'm going to do, this is a light soft suede, and I'm just going to color that in the center of this nest. And it doesn't, you don't have to color each one of the separate branches that are in there. You can just do a circular color like that and it looks just fine. And then I have some light crumb cake. I think this is light crumb cake. I think I want darker crumb cake. Here, you know what? I think in this case we can use our, don't use that big brush all that often, but I'm going to start with the big brush. And then when I get to the tinier details, I will bring out the tinier brush and get those along the edge. So I'm going to color the majority of it in with this bigger brush. I want to make sure there are some leaves that are inside that nest. So you want to make sure that you don't go over those because I'm going to color those with green. But now that I have the majority of it colored in, I'll take the tip, and where I have some edges coming out like this, I will just go over those. And I'm also going to get the branches. Okay, and then I have a light granny apple green that I'm going to come in and get all of these little leaves. So the leaves I'm coloring in green. And I didn't have this colored when I did it, but I did cut it out. So I am going to have to go to my Big Shot, and, or not Big Shot, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I will have to cut it out. Who knows, maybe we'll like this floral instead of the polka dots better when it's all said and done. Thanks for hanging with me. What else are you going to do when it's snowing outside, right? Go shovel? That doesn't sound like fun. So might as well sit and watch me a little bit longer, right? Sorry it's taking so long, but okay. I'll have to let you know where I find, oh, I'm not connected. Dang. I think I'll be back. How long was I gone? All of a sudden I looked up and I was gone. So I hope I wasn't gone too long. I was just coloring. This is a polished pink, dark polished pink for these little buds that are here, just to add a little bit of something in there. And then we have our bird. And our bird, I did a light So Saffron, and I colored his this part of his head in blue, and I didn't like how that looked. So I'm going to color the whole body part, and I did a dark, I think I did a light daffodil, and I thought that it looked too bright yellow, so I opted for So Saffron when I put it in here. That's what happens when you make it once, and you're like, oh, I wish I would have done this differently. I did do it differently for yours, so I have different colors in here to change it up just a little bit. And these are the feathers of our bird. And then I have a little bit of pumpkin pie here for his beak. Now, I also do not see the dies. They are probably with the card. Oh no, I have, nope, this is the flower. I gotta put this back in here. I'm gonna lose this. I feel like I'm all discombobulated today. I don't know if it's the weather's throwing me off or what. I thought I was so ready for this class when I went to bed last night. You know what? I don't see the dies. So we're going to do the next best thing, and we're going to fussy cut, which is kind of a pain for this. but we're going to do it. This does have dies. Oh, are the dies in? Let me see if the dies are in here. Yep, they are. There they are, where they're supposed to be. Imagine that. All right, let me quickly cut this. I don't want to do it too quickly because I don't want it to get out of the lines, but I could bring that onto my desk, but I think it's easier for me just to leave it right here, and I'll cut it, and then I'll just bring it back into the camera. Probably be packing up all of the little bags that I put all my stuff in for my card buffet or card club, and I'll probably find it in there. So this is just going to go on here, and our bird is going to go in there, and I'm going to actually put this up on some dimensionals. Did you guys hear Lila come in? She's sitting right next to me now. She's kind of bummed about this weather too, because she knows she's probably not going to get a WALK because it's way too windy. And she doesn't like it when it's windy, so it's best not to go, but poor thing. It has been nice the last couple of days, so she has gotten one the last couple of days. All right, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put this. What I did was I put the bird down. I learned from my mistakes. So I'm going to put the bird where I want it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this little dimensional underneath his head where I needed it. Because if I put the dimensional, I didn't want to put it on, it was going to go a little bit further. Whoops. There we go. Then we have our greeting. And I'm just going to make this into a banner. We do have a punch that'll do this, but I can do it with my scissors pretty easily. There we go. And that's just going to go over the top of that. And I just put a little bit of glue in the center. Lila's snoring. She's sleeping. Can you hear her snore? All right, so that's just going to go right there. And then I have some of these pastel adhesive back sequins, and these come in 2 different sizes. You get a pack of the small and a pack of the large in the same, or a sheet, I should say, in the same pack. And here's my take your pick tool. We're going to do a couple of these. I'm going to do a couple up here. And we'll do one down here. All right, so there is our little nested bird. Thanks for sticking with me. And then it's open on the inside, so always thinking of you. So if you wanted to make this a sympathy, you could put sympathy on the inside. If somebody's going through a difficult time or get well soon, you could do a get well soon. I like to leave it blank so that whatever I need it for, I can add that greeting afterwards, or I can just write a message. Okay, so this was the one that, oh, and you know what? I'm looking at this. I put some Wink of Stella on the belly of the bird as well, which I know you can't usually see the Wink of Stella, but I can. All of a sudden I looked at it, I'm like, it's missing Wink of Stella. Okay, so there are the 2, one with the floral. Thank you, Nancy. All right, so there is our, and I will make a little envelope. I'm running late because, well, there is a piece of paper cut somewhere for the envelope because I remember doing the envelope as well. So there's one of our cards. here is the SIP card that we did. And then here is our gift card holder. All right, so our 3 cards, we did get them all in. Thank you for your patience with me this morning. I know it's been a little bit of a struggle this morning, I'm not going to lie. All right, I'm going to come back here. I'm back. All right, I will be live again next week at the same time. I think since we're getting close to, we haven't done one in a while, I think what I'll do is I'll do some sort of either a layout challenge, or would you like a technique challenge? Would you like me to do a different technique and have you use that technique for something? Yes. Latokia, I will, I'll be typing up the directions and I'll post them on Facebook and with a link so that you can get to it. That link will always be active, or you can print it from there if you want to print it from there to have it. And I will have a picture of the card on there as well. I'm going to work on that this afternoon since I can't go to Green Bay because it's snowing anyway. So, what do you think? Do you want technique? You can put in the comments. Would you rather do a technique, a layout, or a fun fold challenge? I'll do that next week. All right. I think that's all I have. I hope that all of you who are in Wisconsin in this fun snow, that you stay safe today. It's a great day to stay inside and do some stamping or do some creating. I know there's a couple of little Easter baskets that I want to make up yet. And I have to clean off my kitchen table because I have people coming tomorrow for a stamp club. And so we will, I will see you again next week. I'll look at what people are saying. I see there's fun fold techniques. Well, we'll figure something out. Maybe I can do a fun fold within use a technique within a fun fold, and then have it, you can either do the technique or do the fun fold. Maybe that'll work. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to me this morning and staying with me when things got a little bit crazy. I really, really appreciate that. And I love my mornings with you. So I will see you again next week, Saturday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and have a great weekend.